I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, we're out to Seattle for the 32nd and final home opener of the 2018 season. Standing by are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It is loud and it is wet here, Coach, as we welcome you inside CenturyLink Field on a patented rainy afternoon in Seattle, Washington. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. Seated next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, this one featuring a couple of playoff teams from a season ago, back at it again in 2019.
And we both felt the confidence from both of these teams, right? They feel like they will be back in the playoffs again, but they shouldn't be overconfident. 7 teams last year made the playoffs that didn't make it the previous year, so you're not assured of going back year after year.
Have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by Big Ben, their veteran quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger.
He's one of the more exalted quarterbacks in the league, but I still don't think he gets enough appreciation for his ability to read defenses and lead his ball club.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And they're coming off a good win on the road last week, but they do know that they have a home game next week. So all the focus has to be, can they get a second win on the road and make going home that much sweeter? That's the intention in this ballgame.
Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
At corner is Josh Norman. I would think he'd want to quibble a little bit. Actually, you know Josh would have a full discussion with the metrics people who say that maybe he's not the elite lockdown corner he thinks he is. He would say, ask all the receivers in the NFC East. They would think differently because a day against Josh Norman is a very difficult day for any receiver.
On third down, Roethlisberger. A bullet throw, but incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Corey Vedvik on to punt the football. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes one extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Go.
Now the leading rusher for the Pats last year is a rookie, Sony Michel. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Terrell Suggs in on the tackle. They'll run with Michel. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. On third down, Michel. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now here's Michael Dixon. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. Taking on the midfield logo. The great blocking nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. 22 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 14. Third and 2, now Roethlisberger. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Now Michelle. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. Play action. Now Wilson. He's got his man, Boyd. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
They go play action now. Wilson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Here's Wilson to throw. That's to his running back, Sony Michel. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it a second down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On the ground, Michel trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 15-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. On the ground is Michel. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Off the draw, here's Michel. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Wilson. Eluded, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Marcus Golden, too much to handle that time, gets the sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now Greg Joseph for the field goal try. The kick by Joseph is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
This will be fielded at the 8. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
Black 20. Check, check. 59. Got you, boy. I got you, boy. Slam.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 14 on that one and a first down. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Mohamed Sanu is a guy that is often overlooked because he just quietly goes about his business. But how about last season? Had a career-high 838 yards on 66 catches, and he can also play Wildcat quarterback for you as well.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. A Fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Now bad hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry, and now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll run it. This is Michel. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
Mike, 57.
At the 50-yard line.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. He gets this one to Boyd. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. These two teams all tied after one. 2nd quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Marcus Golden able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Now here's Michael Dixon. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, and it's a high kick. Hit pretty well. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Mohamed Sanu is marching back onto the field now. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
A throw over the middle, taken in. He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. And he comes back with one complete. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This will be a 37-yard attempt. The kick by Joseph is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman.
All right, let's go ahead and just add it up here. Their last 3 drives, 2 fumbles and an interception. Somewhere, to paraphrase one of the great coaches of the NFL, they're asking on that sideline, what the heck is going on out there?
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. But what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. On the ground, this is Michel, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up.
Well, the ball is out. Michel lost it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he loses the football a second time. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. From the 35 on 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And he finds Beasley, complete. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Roethlisberger now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Bell with a first down carry there as he'll get about 4 out of that. The tackle made by K.J. Wright. To throw on 2nd and 6. Roethlisberger over the middle, complete. It's Andrews. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 43.
First down, Saints.
Now a first down carry by Bell. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. From the 39, Roethlisberger. And this one brought in by Sanu. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 29-yard line. Roethlisberger now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now Bell. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. They'll try again with Bell. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear him now, 3rd and goal. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So back even at 6 apiece as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 8. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson, he completes it to Boyd. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. To throw is Wilson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I think we should put a stopwatch on that one. You talk about having all day to throw the football, able to scan the field, find someone open after a long time. Big time credit to the offensive line for protection. That's what we used to call throwing out of the rocking chair.
Wilson now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Green once again the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Throw left side complete. It's Boyd. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Wilson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Wilson will throw again. And that will be incomplete as well.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. The kick by Joseph is good. And they take the lead here as it's now 9-6. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. And I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So they're able to make things level just before half and also leave very, very little time on the clock.
And I love the way that you phrased that. Brought a little soccer into it. And that's really apropos considering they just kicked a field goal to tie things up.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So nothing separating these two teams as we head to the break all square. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. A good game there on first down. That run will get them 7 up to the 32-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. And it's Michel once again. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll try Michel here running on the right side. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. A give. This is Michel. And to the 36-yard line. Taken down there after getting 8 yards. They go play action now. Wilson is going to let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
That's it.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to take a shot, and he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Larry Fitzgerald, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Seahawks. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now up to 14. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, and that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On 2nd down and 4, Roethlisberger throwing middle, but it's incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he fires one, but incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked out at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Getting set to go again. We get a peek at Larry Fitzgerald as he heads back out there now. He's been his typical solid and reliable self, hasn't he, Charles?
When you have that go-to receiver that you can count on in a situation where you absolutely have to have him, there's nothing better for anybody who's throwing the football. But the best part is the payoff. 2 touchdowns already. That's the bottom line when you throw the ball to a guy.
Absolutely. Not over 100 yards right now, but he does have... And oh, my goodness, he loses it again. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
54 Mike. Come on, the ball. Under 10, under 10, 10.
On third down, Wilson. He's got his man, Boyd. And he will have the first down here as he's up to the 15. He's up to 88 yards receiving in the ballgame now, and he's got a first down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, first and 10.
Let's see what you got.
Here's Wilson to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. On the handoff, it's Michel. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. It's Jaleel Adai who brings him down.
It's third and 10.
Here's Wilson to throw on third down. He'll check this one down to Michel. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 15. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. Just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals. Just something magical about breaking that barrier.
He's right there on the doorstep now. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jabal Sheard picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Here comes the Saints punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And our focus now moves on to Larry Fitzgerald. He's knocking on that door for a 100-yard gain.
And what receiver doesn't want to be part of this entry club? Every receiver, when the game starts, wants to have 100 or more yards next to his name. It's a badge of honor, but it also shows that you're helping out your team.
And he has certainly been helping out his team so far. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. They get the tackle, Marcus Gilbert, second-round pick back in 2011 out of Florida. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And an alley to run. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a 1st down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. Again, it's Michel. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Then he's got Fitzgerald. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing is Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk 1st. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Play action. Now Wilson. He gets this one to Boyd. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. And they will run it with Michel. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Virgil Green, his 1st touchdown of the new season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
Brandon, would you say they went from agony to elation in just a few quick seconds on that play?
Probably thought they were about to give it up in the red zone and then touchdown.
Yeah, there is absolutely no way that they drew it up and said this is the way it's supposed to be done. It just happened.
But the end will justify the means. The extra point up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Breaking that one up, the former All-Pro Josh Norman. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And this one caught by Beasley. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 12 yards there and a first down.
50 to Mike. 50 to Mike.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump-off. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. Catch is made by Harry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Now Roethlisberger on first down. And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. It was Teron Johnson that time who had that play covered from the start. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there. And it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. And that's caught by Beasley. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 13-yard line.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis.
Here we go. 180. 50. Check back 50. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there, man.
They'll run on first down. Bell, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit, now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. N'Keal Harry His second touchdown on the season. And the Saints get a bit closer.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just haven't been able to punch it in until that point. Blair Walsh on to attempt the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, we get a peek at Larry Fitzgerald as he heads back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this?
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now this is Le'Veon Bell with a reception. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, you're trailing. It's the fourth quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get them much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Wilson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Wilson, he completes it to Boyd. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Well, that'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Here we go. Let's bring it.
On first down, Michelle. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And he finds Fitzgerald. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 35. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the toss, here's Michel. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tavon Young in on the tackle. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Now Wilson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Single, slot.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. This to make it a 3-score game late. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
And down he goes. A coverage sack. Took too long to get rid of it. It's Christian Covington who notches the sack there.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Now Roethlisberger. Got a man open. That's Harry. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Got his man. That's Harry. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Throwing again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Seahawks have recovered. 20. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Joseph on for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Looking to throw again on second down. Roethlisberger, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down. From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. And he finds Beasley complete. 23 yards on the play. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jabal Sheard getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So the victory here for Seattle, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I'll bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Seahawks, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.